Hey guys, what's up? Bisectatron here from OneHive Gazette, here with the next base destruction video, and this one is a Town Hall 8. I'm actually over at Alpha. Genesis is off doing a social clan war in another clan, so I went ahead and went over to Alpha just to hang out for a little while, and because of that, I'm going to take advantage of all the Town Hall 8s they have and do a Town Hall 8 base destruction. I tend to like to have 3 attacks, but this was a good example. It only has 2 attacks in this base. The first one was a fail. The second one cleaned it up and got the 3-star. But even though it's only 2 attacks, I think it's still a good learning opportunity. It shows some good Town Hall 8 gameplay. And taking a look at this base, we have the Teslas, the giant bombs drawn in, and I'm going to go ahead and show the first attack in a minute, and we'll see how that ended up going. But first, just a few things about this base, and keep in mind it has a balloon and a dragon in the CC, which I think is not a good CC composition anymore. I think you're much better off doing a few Valks, because those level 5 Valks are really powerful and pretty hard to kill in the CC. I've seen that in some other attacks, so I would recommend Valks. But anyway, has a dragon and a balloon. That's just that. So the first, or actually, let me talk about the base a little bit more before I get into the first attack. So this is one of those bases that has the 3 giant bomb spots. Pretty typical. It might even be a foreign base. I think we've seen this a lot, but it's worth taking a look at, seeing how you can 3-star it. And it has these 3 double giant bomb spots, just like that. And when you look, has the dead space there, dead space there. On this one, has the dead space there, there, and then there. By dead space, I mean there's no immediate defenses. This one, there kind of is. These two are pretty close to being a single trigger in that set. Because of that, I would eliminate it if you're trying to kind of guess on a first attack. I would say it's going to either be here or here. And considering the sweeper's only a 2-space building and there's kind of a possibility of a single trigger, I think here is the best spot. Now, it's easy to say that after I've already seen that it actually is there, but that would be my guess. You obviously can't eliminate anything because you never know what the base builder is going to do. They might even have 3 single bombs. You never know. So anyway, as far as the rest of this base goes, pretty standard stuff. All the point defenses on that outer layer makes it easy to target with hogs. That is something that could have been used. We'll talk about that in just a minute by the first attacker. Yeah, I mean, everything's pretty much maxed out. The king's only level 8 and the walls aren't maxed, but that doesn't really matter. So yeah, like I said, this base, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I think it's somewhat of a common base, but let's go ahead and take a look at the first attacker's plan, which is actually a Valk attack. So the plan was just to create a funnel here, which goes fine, and then send in the Valks right like that, let them make their way through, and goes ahead and drops the Quakes in the core right here, just like that. Now that doesn't let the Valks get past this little set of walls right here. So forgetting who the attacker was, but I think it's like, I don't know how to say her name, Kajla, I think it's a she, I'm not sure, but anyway, just comes in with the Valks, and by taking out these trash buildings, the Valks are kind of pushed through the wall, so everything goes fine. They make it into the core, has the heals, level 5 Valks, plus the own Valks that she brought in the CC. Everything moves in, drops the heal, I think has 2 heals for it. But then the hog deployment, I think, is what gets it. All the hogs are deployed right on this area, and I think considering how all the point defense is kind of out there, definitely could have spread out the hogs more, because the point defense was distracted on the hogs for a while, but by the time the hogs worked their way through around the base, everything's died in the core, and the Valks are not, or the hogs are going to be targeted again. Even some balloons would have worked out well, because all the air defenses pretty much go down, everything's accessible, so some back-end balloons could definitely work instead of hogs. But if hogs were what she wanted to do, I think the better option would be to send in like maybe only 4 or 5 here, then start sprinkling them in as these defenses get distracted. That way you overwhelm them all at once while the Valks are taking in the core, the hogs take out the defenses, because the way it went with the hogs going in one big group, they all died too early. The Valks all die before the hogs get there to take out the defenses, so they don't really work together. They're 2 separate forces, which makes them a lot weaker on their own. So we'll take a look at the attack, see how it went, and then we'll move on. Be right back with the attack. Alright, here we go with the attack by Kala. I'm not sure if the J is silent, so I apologize if it's I'm butchering his or her name. I'm not sure about the gender either. It's part of the problem with being a visitor in these kind of clans. But regardless, was a great attack. Did not mention the CC lure. That's something that pretty much happens with every Town Hall 8 attack. You can't really trust your kill squad to take it out, especially without a queen or anything. So it comes in here, nice little balloon, 1-for-1 trade because the archer tower was distracted. Now he actually doesn't end up getting the CC lure with the few hogs he sent it on the archer tower, or she sent it. Obviously, she sent it on the archer tower. So doesn't get the balloon lure at first. The dragon does come out though. Goes ahead and drops the anchors at the bottom, and I believe she just lets the balloon stay in there. But the wizards are what makes a big difference. You can see only uses, I think, looks like 2, maybe drops a 3rd wizard, I think, right here. Maybe not. Maybe the archers just take it down. But still has a few wizards left in the bag right here, right there. Those wizards are going to step up. They create the funnel, but I think a few of them also kind of double back inside the base right here. So the Valks come in, goes ahead and brings wall breakers. I don't think they were needed at all because you can see the Valks with just a few swings are already almost through the wall. The wall breakers didn't help a whole lot. I don't think that was worth it. But anyway, not a huge deal. But the wizards, like I said, they're going to come in there and get that balloon, which is huge because if they don't, nothing else, the entire attack will get it taken out. So it might seem like a little thing, but those balloons have to be dealt with, dragons, balloons, both, in some way or another. So right there, the king and the Valks are going on the wall. That's actually perfect. Everything's going into the base just as planned. The king's ability is good. The second heal might have been a little late. Still holding on to it. Giant bombs are going off. There go the hogs. And I think the heal spell would have been better spent on the Valks themselves. But decided to save them. And right there, that's kind of a lost heal spell. Because at this point, there's way more hogs. So at this point, like I said, it would have been better at the Valks at first, but by then just save it for the hogs, because by the time they get in it, their heal's already running out, they're already getting thinned out, there's a lot of point defense kind of spread out, so they're going to get picked off one by one, and things are just going to kind of run out, not a whole lot of stuff for cleanup either, just the Valk or 2 on the wall right there. So anyway, pretty solid plan. I think it was, the first part went perfectly. I mean, the Valks going into the base, everything getting taken out, the core basically being destroyed, but whether it was balloons or hogs, I think a little bit better deployment could have made the difference. And I personally would have done balloons. I think the fact that all the air defenses could go down pretty easily means balloons are a good choice. But hogs would have worked, I think, had the heal been used better, or at least the hogs been deployed a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the plan for the second attack that got the 3-star. Here we go with that. The attacker that actually got the 3-star was Mesoscale Vortex. Comes in with a nice plan, and on cleanup attacks at Town Hall 8, sometimes you're going to see Valks or Dragons or something a little different, but most of the time, if you know where all 3 of the giant bombs are, if you know where the Teslas are, a little less important, but that helps, you can get the 3-star just using a large force of hogs and working with the pathing, and that's exactly what we see here. So good, authentic example of what you see at Town Hall 8. The plan is basically this. He goes ahead and starts off with a few hogs, takes out the cannon, comes in for the CC lure, and this is interesting because ultimately he's going to send in suicidal hogs to trigger this right here. Could have sent in just one big force at the beginning to, come in here, get the lure, and trigger this, but I think that was the right decision to kind of have 2 separate pushes, because the CC troops are so going to be engaged so quickly on those hogs. The dragon and the balloon would have taken them out. The hogs would not have reached the double giant bomb set to trigger it, unless he sent in a ton of hogs, which would have been a waste. So it makes the right decision in my opinion. Just gets the CC lure with like 3 hogs, brings them down to the bottom, just drops archers, wizards. Very easy kill. I think he even has the poisons because no quakes, and gets those taken out. From there, sends in a group of like 7 hogs, maybe even like 8 hogs, so quite a few hogs. They come in, trigger the double giant bomb set as they run over from there, so the pathing works out perfectly. Gets a few defenses while he's at it. And then one thing that was really cool is the hogs were calculated perfectly. Knows he's confident that they're going to trigger that double giant bomb set, so before they even path over it, comes in with the main force of hogs down like this, Just a nice little runway, the hog lane, as I've said in previous videos, that's what I call it. A nice little lane for your hogs to go down, and has a heal for them, and his planning works out perfectly. The double giant bomb set's been triggered, so it has 3 heals just to drop all around this base as they work their way through. And I think there's some max hogs in the CC, which obviously are going to do a ton of damage. So I guess the base taken out pretty easily. Has the heal for that final giant bomb, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage to hogs under heal. So crushes this base, and I think even uses the king the tank for a few point defense, which was cool too. So we'll take a look at the attack, and then we'll close out this video. Okay, here we go with the attack. You can see here, ton of hogs, only just a few wizards and archers. Everything else is being invested in hogs. Comes in with, I think, 4 actually, if I counted that right, and maybe 3. Gets the CC lure, takes out the 1 cannon, so has the balloon, the dragon, which is very easy to kill, especially with the poison spell. So just drops that down, but remember, still has to engage the CC troops. They will run out of it if there's no troops that they can target. So make sure it has an archer, few archers, few wizards, but they're so slow, that dragon and the balloon in the poison spell, that it really only takes a few troops to take them out. Just drops down a wizard, some more archers, and saves the rest for cleanup. So yeah, that's done pretty easily. You can see he has 4 defenses in his path now until that double giant bomb set comes in with, it looks like, if I do the calculations right, 7 hogs, and then boom, right away drops down the king to tank for that 2-point defense. Great value. Use his hit points to your advantage, but then has those hogs moving through, and actually could have been closer had he not delayed it a little bit longer, because those hogs were already getting close to that wizard tower by the time they finally the other group triggered the double giant bomb sets. But luckily the pathing was fine anyway. They take a while to get to the wizard tower. Has that heal for the giant bomb, has even a nice poison for the skelly traps and to slow down the king a little bit. So just pretty much perfect technical attack all around the base. Has that heal left over, didn't even need it. Crushed this base. Good job using the king to tank there at the beginning. That was awesome. And then I just thought it was really cool how has the confidence to sit back, send in the group of hogs to trigger it, but immediately doesn't even, make sure that the hogs will get it done. Has it planned out right, and is confident to send in the main group just kind of on the other side, knowing they won't cross that double giant bomb set because the group will get the job done. So anyway, awesome attack to Vortex. Hope you like this video. A little bit of a different base destruction video for you guys. By the way, I am going to be in alpha for a little while. I'm doing a war with them just because I wasn't in the fun little war we're doing in Genesis. Didn't make the time window. So anyway, I'm going to have some OneHive alpha content coming out, which should be interesting. Not sure exactly what I'll do. But anyway, thanks for the applications, by the way, for the Clan Drifter series. You'll hear back from me at some point. In the first video should be coming out at some point too. So I hope you guys are excited. I haven't decided anything yet, but thanks for the applications. Going through them as we speak. So I'll get back to you guys. And yeah, coming out with more videos as always tomorrow. See you guys later. Bye, Sectatron out.